Okay, this is ISO number 19 for the 20 ISOs. First thing that we need to do is get an idea for the base dimensions. We're going to click on, or we're going to write down the base dimensions down here for the width, the depth, and the height. Height's pretty easy to do. Let's do that first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 units high. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 units deep. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 units wide. So it's 9 by 4 by 7. I think the general idea here is the strategy is going to be to create the base down at the bottom and then make sure that the base has this notch taken out of it. Then we can extrude up and just use a chamfer to cut this out. If you make a rectangle and then try to chamfer, you're going to end up trying to take out the entire thing, and that's not what you want to do. You only want to knock out half of this brick. You don't want to knock out the other half. So when we make our base, if it's already got an edge put into it, you can do that chamfer without having to do any extra steps. So let's try that. We're going to make a 9 by 4 base, and we're going to take this notch out. Let's create a document. We're going to call it 20 ISOs, number 19, and click OK. We're going to create a new sketch. Click on the top pane, go to the top view. Then we're going to make a rectangle that is 9 by 4. 9 by 4. 9, enter, 4, enter. Hit the green check mark. Then we can go to isometric view, click extrude, and oh, no, not yet. Hang on. Let's go back. Right click and edit our sketch to go back into it. I told you we need to cut a notch out, and I totally didn't do it. That notch needs to be 2 squares by 2 squares, or 2 inches by 2 inches. So over here in this corner, I'm going to create a rectangle that is 2 inches by 2 inches, and we can trim out everything that we don't need. So the stuff on the right side, we can trim this, and we should just have our base like this. Now we can finish our sketch, go to an isometric, and extrude. This will make our life a lot easier, I promise. The height is 7, so we're going to make that 7 units high. And then we're going to finish our sketch, or finish our extrusion by clicking the green check mark. Okay, so what we want to do next is we want to create a 2-directional chamfer, and we want to count how many squares we're going to need to cut. In the X direction, or the horizontal direction, we're going to need to cut, let's see here. Here's how far we're going to end up needing to go. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 squares in the X direction and 7 squares in the Y direction going down. So that's going to be a 2-directional chamfer, and that's going to be 4 by 7. Going back into OnShape, we're going to click the chamfer button. We're going to make sure that it says 2 distances, and we're going to click on this edge, and we're going to make the distance 1 4, and we're going to make distance 2 7, and it should cut all the way down. Click the green check mark and double check and make sure that it worked out okay. Looks like I got a little bit of extra space down there, so I may need to, let's go back and check the dimensions. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Well, looks like 4. And then when we go down, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it seems like my 2-dimensional left a little bit of extra space down there. Let me try to see if I can do a 5 by 7. I can go back into the chamfer and edit it. And let me see if 5 actually will make it chamfer all the way. Nope. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it at 4 by 7. We'll have a little bit of extra space down here. And for the 20 ISOs, that'll be okay. Now, what we're going to need to do from here is we're going to have to drill a hole in the center. And to drill a hole in the center, what we're going to be doing is we're going to have to find where the center of the circle is. So there is not a halfway point that we can work with this time because the base is not all the way stretched out across. So what we're going to do is we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 over and 1, 2, 3, 4 up to make a square in the sketch, and we're going to make our circle in that top right corner. So we're going to move over here to this make a sketch on the flat surface, click on the front, and then from here we're going to make a rectangle. Start in the bottom left corner and work your way out. That's going to be 4 by 4. Okay, and then from here we're going to make a circle. The radius of our circle is 2. So that means we're going to have to make this circle with a diameter of 4. OnShape uses diameters, so we're going to click this and we're going to make a diameter of 4. Okay, now we can trim the parts that we don't need, this part, and if you want to keep just cutting out the rest of the rectangle, you can. You don't need it anymore, so you can get rid of it. Click the green check mark, and then go to an isometric view. We're going to click extrude, make sure you select remove. We're going to click, make sure you click both segments of the circle, because you're going to want to, when you push the arrow through, you're going to want it to go through the entire thing. And we're going to click the green checkbox, and this is the shape that we have. The only thing that's a little bit worrying is this extra space down here, this small extra unit. This is coming from our chamfer. If we wanted to make it a little better, we would have to measure exactly how far this is going across, but from the shape it looks like 4 and 7, so we're going to just go with it on this one. And there you have it, 20 ISOs, number 19.